I'm gonna be real with y'all. I thought Legend of Dragoon was about to be one of those games people overhype just because it's old. Like, to be honest, the box art is really good and the name is amazing. Anything with dragons already's got my attention because I love dragons. But at the same time, I definitely expected it to be overhyped. I expected this game to be one of those you had to be there RPGs where modern games outdo it in every way, and when modern players go back to it, it just, feels boring. And the first couple of hours, I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly how I felt. I missed a lot of older RPGs growing up. I really didn't get into RPGs heavily until stuff like Kingdom Hearts on the PS2 and later Oblivion for the 360. So there's like a whole era of classic RPGs I just flat out missed. So now I've been going back and trying some of these older games for the first time, like Legend of Dragoon was one of those I always heard people talk about, like it was legendary, must-play classics. So I finally sat down and played it, and at first, man, I was struggling. Like, those battle intros were driving me crazy on how long they were, man. I'm sitting there like, bro, I do not care about these bushes, these trees in the background. Just let's throw some hands. It felt very slow immediately, like very turned off with that. And honestly, man, the battle system really annoyed me too. Like, the whole addition system threw me off. Like, yeah, like you can learn different additions and you can switch them outside of battle, but when you actually fight, you're basically locked in to the same attack over and over and over. And then that already felt very limiting. And then the magic I found out was being tied to the items that you carried. And I really wasn't feeling that. So magic is basically items. That was a huge turnoff for me early on in the game. And then the story, it just felt very political, very fast. I want something that grabbed me quicker. Instead, it felt very slow, kind of messy, honestly, boring in the beginning. So for those first few hours, I'm not even gonna fake it, I was not really feeling the hype at all, and I thought this game was gonna be like very overrated. And I'm just sitting there like, is this really the classic that everybody's talking about? Because right now I am not impressed. But then a certain moment happened, right? Rose saves you, Dart hits the Dragoon form, and I'm like, okay, I see you, Dragoon. I see you, bro. That right there was the first moment where the game really snapped me to be awake. And I was like, oh my God, because up until then, I'm thinking this might just not be for me. There's a lot of, then all of a sudden you get like this badass transformation. And now I'm paying attention for real. And then not long after that, like you go and fight Lavit's father's killer. And then like Lavitz gets his Dragoon form too. And that was it. That was like the moment the game got me. Because now I'm not just pushing through the game anymore. Now I'm like curious. Now I'm invested. And now, like, I want to see what everybody's Dragoon form looks like. What's all their magic skills are going to be, right? How crazy are these transformations? That's when Legend of Dragoon stopped feeling like homework and started feeling like a game I could not wait to keep playing. And once the Dragoon stuff kicked in, everything started landing way harder for me. Like, the transformations were just cool as hell, right? Straight up, that's one of those things where, like, sometimes a game just knows exactly how to hit your brain. I love transformations in games, right? I love that power-up feeling. I love when something sudden makes your character feel legendary, and Legend of Dragoon absolutely has that. So now I'm locked in. Like, I'm wanting to see every new form, every new magic animation, every new big moment, right? And on top of that, the story started getting way better once the foundation was set, right? It started picking up, and that's really what happened for me. Like, the early game felt very slow and sloppy, but once the pieces started coming together, the story had actual weight to it. Like, Lloyd started standing out as a badass, right? The world felt bigger, the stakes felt more real, and suddenly I wasn't dragging myself through it anymore. I was like all in. And even the additions started growing on me more once I got used to them. They were still irritating sometimes, but like once you start understanding the rhythms better, there's something satisfying about landing them very clean. That's one thing I like about this game. I started off hating it, but I really love it and kind of wish RPGs would make that more part of their systems in the modern era, because it's boring when you're just sitting there clicking the same button, just attack, and there's no so there's nothing to really like keep you like paying attention during the battle. And I gotta say too, that soundtrack, yeah, that music be hitting, bro. That music was nice. The soundtrack was absolutely helped carry the vibe once I was fully brought in. At this point, even though I was still really into the game, there's some things I really didn't like about the game. The biggest one, I think some of those dragon designs were disappointing. Like for a game called Legend of Dragoon, and for somebody like me who loves dragons, right? I wanted these dragons to blow me away, and to me, they just didn't. They looked crappy. That was one area where I honestly was just very let down in this game. And I still never was a huge fan of the magic being tied to items. That never fully clicked with me. Like, it's not like I finished this game thinking it was flawless, right? Because like, you know, it wasn't. But the stuff it does very well. And man, once this game got rolling, it gave me some moments I'll remember for a long time. Like, first off, Lloyd is just a straight up badass, period, right? Dude has presence every time he shows up. But then near the end, when my boy came in doing what looked like a whole key barrage, like my boy Vegeta, bro, I was losing it. I'm like, nah, man, this man is different. Lloyd became one of my favorite parts of the whole game, man. And then the reveal of who the real big bad is, right? Dart's father. I was like, bro, no way. Like, I never expected his dad to be alive, right? That was one of those mouth wide open moments. I'm sitting there shocked, like, hold up, what? That hit me hard because it's the kind of reveal that instantly makes everything feel bigger and crazier, right? Because, like, I never expected that to happen. Like, that didn't even cross my mind the entire game. And then, bro, that ending, like when Dart's dad takes Dart's Dragoon form, right? And then you get Lloyd's Divine Dragon Dragoon form. Dude, that was my type of craziness right there. Now I'm feeling overpowered. The design was sick. Transformation was amazing. The magic animations are going crazy. And I'm just sitting there like, hell yeah, bro. That ending stretch felt so epic to me. That kind of payoff I wanted, right? Like, oh my God, that game, like that ending was like, oh my God, I cannot, like one of the best ending boss fights ever, dude. So where do I land on Legend of Dragoon now, right? Honestly, I went from kind of hating this game to like falling in love with it. And you know, I do mean that. This is one of those games where my first impressions was almost completely different from how I felt by the end of it. Early on, I thought it might be boring or overhyped classics that people only love because of nostalgia or whatever. But by the time I finished it, nah, like I totally get it now. Like I definitely think it's a classic. I definitely think it's worth still playing. If somebody asked me today, should you play Legend of Dragoon? My answer is easy yes. Like absolutely yes. For me, it's like an 8 or 9 out of 10, right? And you know, who should really play it? Now, I will say this, you need some patience. If you're the type that quits a game quick, especially when the opening is slow or it's kind of hard, or this game might lose you in those first 5-ish hours, because I'm telling you right now, that beginning was rough for me. But if you like JRPGs, if you like old school games with big payoffs and stuff, if you like transformation, strong late game story moments, and that feeling of like watching the game slowly reveal why people love it, then yeah, man, you should definitely play Legend of Dragoon. And real talk, if it wasn't for that rewind feature on PS5, I might have launched this console out of my window trying to learn some of these additions. So major respect to the OG players who did this back with, you know, no help or rewind feature, because y'all are way stronger than me, man. And Legend of Dragoon started as a game I thought might be overrated, ended up becoming a game I completely understand the love for. Not perfect, definitely rough in spots, but man, once it gets going, it's special.